Oh, baby girls, baby boys, and adults, welcome back to the apartment. I'm Asif Ali. This is
Ali Baluch.
And we've been gone for a little bit.
Dude, this is the first time I've seen both of you in like almost a month. I think since Halloween, a little after Halloween, whenever we filmed that Karen Sony,
yeah.
I think that was the last time I saw both. You weren't even there.
Our producer Sumair is behind the camera right now. He was in Australia.
He was in Australia.
Seeing kangaroos and the Great Barrier Reef, even scuba diving.
Yeah.
And, a real adventure he had with his boys.
Yeah.
We weren't included.
We heard some...
We won't get into why we weren't included.
I don't know why I wasn't invited.
You went on
I went to
work.
Spain.
You went to go shoot. You had an overseas video project.
Yeah. I went to shoot in Spain, and then I got back, and I dropped my short film on everyone's fucking head.
It's a short film, man.
Yeah.
But it burnt up those streets.
Oh, I wasn't... okay, when I dropped a short film, and this was like not even on like one of my main channels. This was like my first channel.
How many channels do you have?
I have 3.
Which one is the porn one?
This one that I uploaded this spring. Short film one. Well, I would upload dumb videos from 4 or 5 years ago, the shorts, and then I just released it there, and people ate it up, and they loved it. And I'm gonna put a link to it in the description. Check out that short film.
Check it out.
It's called Disregard. It was the one I think I brought it up many times in our midweek content, whatever. I would always be like, I'm working on a short film. It's finally out now.
Yeah.
And it's
I've
amazing.
been in town.
Yeah.
Just working on things. I did a commercial.
Hey, congrats.
I did a commercial with a celebrity.
What?
And I can't even, an NDA, I can't say who it is, but
what was it for?
He's he's considered very handsome, and he's on a show, or he was on a show.
That's not you emphasizing these words.
That was about advertising. Don't say it, but you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That guy. And
yeah.
He's great.
He's white.
Yeah. So we
Okay.
shot a commercial, and
For what?
It was at Paramount. It was for H&R Block.
Oh, you shot an H&R Block?
It was legit. It was cool. It was nice. It was a nice meeting an actual celebrity. Where this is how you know you're an actual celebrity. When they give you a call sheet if you're on a commercial, they have everyone's information, right? Everyone, producers, directors, all the way down to people making sandwiches.
Their phone number and
Because
stuff.
for production, they need to know how to contact every single person and every department and everything. If you're a celebrity, nothing. It just had his initials and then blank, 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 blank. And I was like, this dude is famous. Because it had all my information. I even added information. I was like, here's my email, 2 phone numbers, an emergency contact, an email, all of my social media.
Yeah.
I gave them the keys to my house. I was like, please contact me, someone.
Yeah.
But it was fun. I got to do that. I've been doing a lot of stand-up, and I'm
Great.
working on writing a TV show.
That's exciting. I'm really happy for you, man.
Thank you so
It's been
much.
an exciting time.
It has. But who do we got?
But before we get there, we have to give a quick shout out.
Yes.
To our sponsors.
Of course. Once again, the biggest sponsor of our show, Adidas. Even though it has a stain on it from
Shit, you can see that?
from some sort of mayonnaise incident, it
Damn.
still looks good. Adidas, making you look fit even though you're fat.
Hey, shut the fuck up. Stop laughing.
So a huge shout out to Adidas. You guys are
you
giving
guys
us,
know.
You guys are
Just so
giving
you
us
guys stop laughing.
merchandise.
Just so you guys know. I don't know why this guy's laughing. I just signed up for the gym.
Oh, really?
And I have a personal trainer.
Holy crap. This is awesome.
Yes, that's quite the announcement. 24-hour fitness, Glendale. Shout out.
What's the name of your trainer?
Stanley.
Stanley. Shout out to Stanley.
Shout out to
Let's try to
Stanley.
get try to do maybe Stanley can come in for midweek content. We can talk to him about your diet.
I'd rather not.
Okay. He's gonna be like, Ali's eating too many sandwiches.
Yeah. I literally had a steak sandwich before I came here.
Oh my god. It's like a race against death with you. You're like, I'm just trying to get a heart attack as fast as I can.
I only have a few more months to live anyway.
So please subscribe to the apartment. We will live stream his funeral.
For those of you who are new here, it's your first time listening,
Thank
welcome.
you.
Yes,
and welcome.
This is the apartment where we sit with our favorite diverse content creators, influencers, comedians, actors, musicians, so. And so today we reached out to a really dope person who's
really breaking ground in a new space.
Yeah.
Hey guys, what's going on? For Complex News, I'm Tamara Dhia. It's been a turbulent year for Kanye West. He came out the gate with guns blazing when he engaged in a brutal Twitter feud with fellow rapper Wiz Khalifa and ex-girlfriend Amber Rose back in January.
Tamara Dhia. She works with Complex.
And she's Iraqi, American.
Yeah, Arab American.
And, and she reports and does a lot of journalism and stuff for Complex about pop culture stuff, music, art, all that stuff. Yeah. And, she's in a new space.
Yeah. She's in this new digital broadcast space that a lot of people are trying to get to, but she's kind of like mastered it. And we just kind of go through her history of how, she got to where she did.
How one becomes a journalist, her journey to become, how her parents fled Iraq.
And it was a great episode. We had
about people blowing up her DMs. So this is a big learning experience. Plus, we talk about Kanye for a little bit.
We talk about Kanye for a good minute.
So this is it. Tamara Dhia, episode 16. Enjoy.
So welcome to the apartment. This episode, it's our first comeback episode.
It's our comeback episode.
Nice, I'm the comeback episode.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we have Tamara Dhia from Complex News. She is an Arab American. She has a background in acting, attended American University, now is based here in LA, working as an editorial and host. Would you be considered a host?
Yeah,
or
news anchor.
News anchor for Complex News.
Yeah.
Now, is Complex still magazine or is it just still
both? I mean, we're obviously, with the progression of the way digital media has gone over the last few years, we're predominantly digital, but we still have hard copy magazines.
Okay. Yeah, I used to get the magazines back in the day.
Yeah.
But then now everything is digital. Yeah. So welcome. Thank you for coming by.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
This is it. This is the interview's done.
Now.
That was easy.
Yeah.
Should we start drinking?
Let's end it. So I read somewhere that you grew up in Nashville, Tennessee.
I did. I grew up in a lot of places, actually.
Okay, break it down for us. Yeah.
I'm just I'm very worldly.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm an immigrant family, so they had to pick a few different places before they just settle on one, which they still haven't, honestly.
They're still moving.
Yeah, pretty much. We're all over the place.
Yeah. It's just like in a U-Haul constantly.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Back it on up like a U-Haul truck, how we do. I was born in Baghdad, and then we moved to London, and then we moved to New York, and then we moved to Nashville, and then we were in Nashville for a big chunk of my youth.
Okay.
And then we moved to Vegas and Dallas.
Wow.
And DC, back to New York, and now I'm in LA.
Oh my God.
Oh, and Michigan.
That's so many places.
Okay.
Yeah.
Two places would be fun.
Yeah, you get used to it.
Where you were just when you meet other kids, you're like, you can be my friend, but just know this is temporary.
Yeah, I'm like, you have 6 to 8 months, a 6 to 8 month window of my
Is that
friendship.
how long you would stay in places?
Sometimes, yeah. Like Dallas, we were only there for 8 months, I think.
Now, was it because of your dad's work or?
Yeah, exactly. My dad's work just got us all over the place.
A lot of going away parties for you.
Yeah. Well, I
feel like people.
I ghost.
Oh, you were ghosting.
I feel like people
I
never
ghost.
really. Okay. I feel like it could be you just weren't popular enough for people to care.
There's no way you weren't popular. There's no way
There's
she wasn't popular.
It could have been. I don't know. I don't know your life. We're here to find out. So what had your folks move from Iraq over to the States?
I don't know if you know, but there's a lot of turmoil in that area.
I did not know.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this was after the Gulf War,
Okay.
so there was not any place for them to think that this is a good place to raise a family, so they fled. Yeah.
Okay. And you guys were from the capital, from Baghdad.
Yeah.
Okay. And you guys get to with London, New York. How was the time growing up as an Arab being in Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee, of all places? Did you feel I fit in? Did you feel?
I still don't feel like I fit in.
True. I mean, but as a kid, it's now it's we can explore our identities. We can explore our backgrounds and our place as part of the diaspora. But at 8, 9, 10, 11 years old, you're just I don't know, you try to blend in, but no one tells you you're never going to be white, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it sucks. Like, I literally just had my immediate family growing up. So it was just me, my mom, my dad, and my brothers. So for us, like, there was no one down there like us.
Yeah.
You were either white or black, or they just thought we were Mexican.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, you're brown, you're Mexican.
Yeah.
And then to this day, I still get that a lot, actually.
Yeah.
Thought, that's why.
You thought I was Latina.
Yeah, you're like, I'm from Baghdad. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, and then like everything
clicked.
Yeah, everything clicks. Now, how do you say your name in Arabic?
Tamara.
Okay, yeah, exactly. I had friends, and that's how they would pronounce it too. You know, so okay. Made sense.
Another byproduct of growing up in the South, my name became Tamara.
Yeah.
So,
they're like, we decide what your name is.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's also, like you said, trying to fit in.
Yeah.
So, like, my parents didn't want us to be ostracized.
Yeah,
so, as very young, my name became Tamara, so it just stayed Tamara.
Your parents got on board with that?
I mean, they changed our last name.
Wow. I grew up in Arizona, and my parents still were like, you know what? You're still very much Asif. Everyone else was like, you're Asif.
Asif, yeah.
I was like, no, I'm Asif, man. And they're like, shut up.
My older brother's name is Ahmed, so he became Ahmed.
Oh, that's even worse.
I know, and I was like, oh, that just sounds bad.
Yeah.
But they can't do that.
And white people love to force a kh.
They love it.
They're like al-khli, and I'm like, where did you see that?
They're like, we're just trying it out.
And my last name is Baluch, and they like love to just add that emphasis at the end, like Baluch. And I'm like, wait, how? What?
They just think that we just like hawk Louise when we speak Arabic. So
I think so, man.
They just throw in like one every once in a while. They think they speak Arabic.
It's hilarious. No, instead of like changing like how I pronounce my name, I would just come up with like nicknames because
I would have taken a nickname.
Yeah.
Don't ruin my actual name.
Well, they tried to make me Tammy, which I wasn't into.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Tammy felt very like, I don't know, blonde hair, blue eyed. No offense to the Tammys out there.
Yeah. No, listen, all of our fans are Tammys.
Yeah.
So sorry.
You Tammys with the good hair.
Exactly, the Tammys with the good hair. Although we're Middle Eastern, we have good hair too.
Yeah.
But no, I was like, I don't like Tammy, so I became Tam.
Tam?
Yeah.
So like nicknames
it's my street name.
Yeah. See, nicknames are usually given. Like someone's like, I'm gonna call you
asshole, and you're just that for the rest of your life.
I try not
nickname.
to have nicknames. Like people catch on to my nicknames
because you bring it up yourself.
Yeah.
There's like, I'm just hanging out here, guys. Just me.
That's the worst though, when you find out someone gave themselves a nickname.
Yeah.
You're like, out of just like spite, I'll be like, I'm not calling you that.
Yeah.
I agree. Like your nickname has to be like bestowed upon you.
Yeah, and my entire childhood was like, we're not gonna call you whatever.
The best case would have been if you transferred school and you showed up like how people do in jail, and they go like, "Hi, my name is."
And I tried that because
but everyone calls me Little Rocket.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Little Rocket.
I tried that. I bounced around to like at least 6 to 7, 8 schools growing up from like kindergarten.
Is that
up
because
until,
you had an attitude problem?
No.
Oh, okay.
I really had to
Way
like.
cooler if it was.
I know.
I can see, and every time I'd go to a new school, I'm like, I'm gonna come in with a new persona.
You'd reinvent yourself.
But I couldn't. I didn't have the balls to do it. I would just be like, my name's Ali.
Yeah.
And
Ali.
Yeah, Ali.
You're like, I guess that's what it is.
Yeah, so I never was able to.
I should have done that. I was just like, whatever. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you just jumped around enough. So you study at American University in outside of like DC and like Northern Virginia-ish, right?
It's in DC.
Oh, well, like,
It's like
you
Northwest
did
DC.
your folks live in DC, or were you guys just based in the suburbs of like the DMV?
When I was in DC, they weren't there.
Oh, okay.
They came after the
Yeah.
fact.
Gotcha.
They live in Alexandria.
Oh, no
So,
way.
yeah.
Yeah. That's like my family.
Shout out to
lives-
Walking
Oh,
Dead.
really?
Oh yeah, shout out to Walking. Yeah, I'm from Northern Virginia, so Fairfax.
dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
What did you study when you were out in school?
Broadcast journalism.
Okay,
Oh,
because
wow.
you wanted to, like, you did some acting as well,
Yeah.
right? Now, where your aim was like, I'm gonna study this and then like segue into acting, or was it like I'm gonna?
Or was
go
this like
into-
a tool to help me with
Actually,
the
funny
journalism?
enough, I didn't want to be a journalist. I wanted to be an actress,
Okay.
but I have very era parents who
Yeah.
were like, "We are not sending you to school to be an actress. Like
Yeah.
you're either going to be a doctor or an engineer or a lawyer." And I was
Yeah.
like, "What can I do?" And I was like, "Oh, actually, I have an interest in broadcast journalism." 'Cause
Yeah.
I used to like. My mom used to be obsessed with Entertainment Tonight, so she used to watch it all the time. So it was like always kind of in the back of my head, like maybe one day, I don't know.
Yeah.
Still, maybe one day, who knows? But
Entertainment Tonight. I mean, it's not that
Why
far of
not?
a leap. Yeah.
Who knows?
Why not?
So
You guys are
I
watching.
Yeah, I know, right?
Hit her up.
Although Entertainment Tonight, I think is like maybe past
Yeah.
prime a little bit.
Yeah, it's a little that and like what?
Let's aim in a better
Access
direction.
Hollywood.
Access Hollywood.
Yeah.
Is
Billy
gone.
Bush.
My girl's
That's
on
bad.
Access, so maybe
Oh, there
E
you
would
go.
be good.
Oh, E's the new thing because like
do E.
I think Extra. I don't know what's up with Extra.
Which one was the one with Billy Bush?
Access to Hollywood.
It was
Access Hollywood.
yeah.
I wouldn't want to go back to Access after that Billy Bush scandal.
Well, he's not there anymore.
Still.
He just blacklists entire programs. Yeah.
I love how the Trump scandal became the Billy Bush scandal.
I know.
Billy Bush scandal because he's the only one who had to pay
He's
for
the
it.
only
know.
one that got fired.
Yeah,
Fascinating.
like he's somewhere. Like,
Okay, top
amazing.
five broadcast journalists.
Top 5 broadcast journalists.
Walter Cronkite. No, I'm kidding.
That's up there.
Oprah.
Oprah.
Definitely Oprah. I would say Barbara Walters.
Of course.
She's OG.
Uh-huh.
Put me on the spot here.
Anyone specific that you would like? I feel like Oprah was very influential for a lot of people of color growing up because like, oh, she's doing it and she's doing like this great.
And she is from Tennessee. So I love that.
Oh, really?
She went to
That's right.
MTSU, I think.
Okay, awesome. So
How did you transition from graduating in broadcast journalism? Because I mean, did you think that you would end up doing stuff so much in the digital world, or did you think that you were going to end up doing?
I don't know. I mean, I think like the digital world was still kind of popping off at that point.
Yeah.
So it wasn't where it is now. Like in the last few years, like
It's become, like,
really
huge,
become
yeah.
a huge thing. A lot of people on television now are coming over to digital
Yeah.
because the space is so large
Yeah.
and is doing so well. I don't know that I necessarily thought that I was going to be doing what I'm doing, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I think, I've always been a writer. Like fun fact about me, when I was
Let's hear it.
8
Here we go.
years old, I won a poetry contest and I was published
Oh, shit.
nationally. Yeah.
Nationally?
Yeah. So ever since I was 8 years old, my dad was like, my daughter will be a writer. She will be an author and she will be a famous
crazy.
author. So I'm not a famous author, but I do write every single day. So that's nice.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So right after college, because a lot of folks, especially a lot of reviewers, like are in college and they're trying to figure out what the next steps are.
Yeah.
It's really hard. It's really hard because
Yeah.
I feel like you had like a lot of experience working in digital right after school. You
Right.
know, how would you navigate right after school? Like, would you just take any type of unpaid internship, or would you just
100%. I mean, I think like for me, like I navigated the digital space because I immersed myself in it.
Yeah.
So what I was pursuing acting.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm insane. So I can't be still for a long time. So I was producing a lot of my own stuff. So
Yeah.
I would be producing shorts
Yeah.
or producing like little like snippets, like, whatever it was, just
Yeah.
to stay active. And I was still writing, and I'd write a lot of the stuff that we were doing. We did a web series, like so many things, and I was producing it all too. So we were just throwing it up online and just kind of like, like throwing something against the wall and hoping
hoping
something
it's-
sticks.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So in terms of like internships, I actually get asked this a lot. I have so
Really?
many people when they slide in the DMs, you'd be surprised.
How many people are sliding in the DMs?
Too many.
I would, yeah.
Mine's a ghost town.
You can have some of mine.
Go for it.
Please don't. Yeah,
Is your open or
Like,
just people are just
I mean, I honestly don't check them that much.
Okay.
Like, if I'm bored one night, like I'll be out like having
You'll
drinks
be
with
like, "Let's
friends.
look
and
at this
My friends will be like,
nightmare."
let's look at your
Yeah,
DMs,
yeah,
and I'll be
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, fuck it, why not?
It's a flood of dudes just like,
yeah.
hey, what are you doing?
So
Hey, I'm a huge follower. I love your work.
Here's
how
my
can I-
dick. And you're
Yeah.
like,
and on top
Get a
of
lot
that,
of those.
yeah. So it's like, here's my dick, and how do I get an internship?
yeah, that's honestly like
here's my
that's
dick. I'm also into journalism.
that's the spectrum though. It's like either a dick pic or like advice on how to break into the industry.
Yeah.
Like there's really no in between.
So like, just fuck the industry. Just like how to like break into a job,
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you had like some experiences, working
Yeah.
in digital,
Yeah, so for me, like, again, like the beauty of working in the digital space is that you can get jobs through the digital space. So,
Yeah, it's like direct.
Right, yeah. So it's like when I was kind of making the decision to like move from acting and I wanted to kind of go back to my roots of journalism, I was a fan of Complex. So I was always on the site anyway,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
because I was into the stuff that they were doing.
Yeah.
So I would go on websites that I liked, so like Hypebeast or High Snobiety or whatever it was, Complex, and I would look at their career tab, and I was literally on the career tabs every single day, just like looking for a
Hoping
job.
something pops up.
Yeah, just like
Wow.
something that I thought that I'd be good at.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, I was still working on my own stuff, so I had a reel, and I was just like, I saw an opening for a host position.
That's the cool thing now about the internet is that having an application is dumb almost. Because people expect you to show them something.
Yeah.
That's your application.
Well, especially when you work in digital arts. I mean, if you don't have something to show them, it's
People are
hard
like,
for
"What are
them
you
to
doing?"
see. So you're like, oh yeah, I'm a writer, but you don't have a portfolio. It's hard. You know, you're gonna be up against thousands of other people
Right.
that do.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get lost in the shuffle. So I started a blog. Like I was, blogging. I was doing everything. I had a Tumblr. I was just like, what can I do to like give them a full package? So I got together my reel. I got together, I sent them like snippets of my blog, and like, they brought me in for an audition.
And they're like, you're overqualified.
Now they think that. Just kidding. No, they brought me in, and I did the straight up audition, just the way everyone else did.
Wow.
See, a lot of people think that like especially if you want to get into like broadcast, any type of broadcast position where you're in front of camera, people think, oh, I'm natural at it, but they don't know that you actually have to like work on. There's like taking coaching classes and whatever. Like, what's the process? Because people think like, oh, like they just believe. I don't, not to shit on millennials because I love them, but like a lot of people think I'm just, and I hate they're not entitled, but they just think I'm good enough to do anything. I'm good enough to like direct this. I'm good enough to launch my own podcast.
I can do it.
Yeah, I can do it.
I can do it.
Like I can just be in front of the camera, but like there's a lot to it, So what's it take?
I mean, it's funny that you say that. Like it's kind of insulting, honestly, when people are like, oh, I can do what you do. Or like what you do is so easy. And it's like, it's easy for me because I do it every single day. And I've been doing it for many years. Yeah. So we make it look easy, but like you'd be surprised, like, people come into audition all the time, and like sometimes I'll see their tapes just because I'm curious. And like also I've worked on that side of things. Like, I worked in casting, I worked in all this stuff. So it's like, I'm just out of sheer curiosity. Yeah. And I'm like,
you're like, what kind of garbage is coming through these doors?
I'm just like, well, sometimes I'm just like, all right, I see why I got hired. Like, I'm like, all right, like it's a skill, and like it's something that you need to work at. So, it's like if you wake up one day and you're like, oh, I want to be a rapper. And it's like, all right,
have you ever done that before?
Yeah, it's like it's it's the same. It's an art in its own way. It's it's a fun art.
Yeah.
But nonetheless.
And how small was Complex's digital department when you first started?
When we started, the news team had just been there for about a year and a half. So I was hired with my friend Alex, who is now at Access Hollywood.
Yeah.
Shout out to her.
Yeah.
So when we came on, they had 3 other anchors already there, and the growth of the space was growing exponentially. So they hired 2 of us. And I think when I came on, there was probably 500,000 subscribers to our YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah.
And now I think there's 1.5 million.
Damn.
And so I've been there for about a year and a half. So just in that
wow,
time.
That's huge.
I mean, that just shows like the exponential growth that we've had. And it's been pretty incredible to be a part of it.
What was your first story that you had to do?
The first story, oh my gosh. I think it had something to do with Travis Scott, but I don't remember what. This was a year and a half ago. I've done... I've done like 1,000 stories.
How many do you have to do a day?
3.
You have to film 3 a day.
day.
Wow.
And you're like 5 days a week?
We're 5 days a week. We're full time. But then there's, we do other things. So if I have an interview, or if we're doing event coverage, or if I'm doing man on the street or something like that, then, obviously that negates the
right.
quota.
Damn.
We can bleep this out.
Please.
Who was the worst person you had to like deal with, celebrity-wise?
I can't. I'm
okay. Don't give us the name. Give us
their Instagram handle. I'm just kidding.
Give us their behavior that they did.
Yeah. Don't tell us the person it is, but
just
what
the
kind
situation,
of behavior?
the situation that you have to deal with, where you're like.
I'll be honest. A lot of. Most of the people that I've interviewed have actually been super cool and super laid back.
Yeah.
It's generally their teams around them that you have to that are kind of giving
the riff-raff.
It's exactly. It's the people that don't want you saying things, like they don't want their client saying something that's going to end up on the internet and then become a huge story. Meanwhile, that's my job to do that. So
you're looking for that. You're trying to bait that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, not even bait it. Like I think it's a matter of like us just trying to have an organic conversation. And then sometimes it is organic and they want to talk about it. Like AKA Zayn, who I had interviewed, who was so nice.
You interviewed Zayn?
I did. You missed out.
Did you see how high his voice got?
I saw that. Ooh, you just fangirled on me.
Of course, that guy is like unattainable. Like he's untouchable, man. Because he goes.
And he was so sweet, very, really nice guy. And there was a point where I was like asking him something. It was about his album, and his people off to the side were like, no. And then he literally looked at them and was like, I want to answer it.
Oh.
And I was like, let him know, Zayn.
Yeah.
You just announced your album title, Mind of Mine. Can you tell us what that means to you?
So it kind of relates to the whole genre of the album. It's kind of sporadic and different, and kind of like a brainstorm in a way.
Like, he wants to answer it.
I know, right?
I want to answer this question about my favorite cereal. You can't stop me.
Yeah, like breaking news. Zayn eats Frosted
It probably
Flakes.
would be breaking news.
Yeah.
What artist had the most entourage?
Oh.
The most entourage.
Like the most people with them?
Team.
I mean, a lot of the times I'm interviewing them, it's like for a shoot or something. So they have a team there anyway.
Yeah. So you'll go on like set or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
It's like a set. There's like a reason why there's a team there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like you got into acting, you did a play, learned to be a Latina. What was that about?
It was basically about, I played a pop star who was Middle Eastern, and she was very talented, and they wanted her to be a big star, but they didn't think that a Middle Eastern person could be a big star in today's world.
In post 9/11 world,
Post 9/11, exactly. So they decided to rebrand her whole package and make her Latina. So she pretended basically to be Latina, and then became this huge, crazy star. And then obviously started going through the internal struggle of like being like, oh, I'm faking my entire life.
Yeah.
It's always after the money, though, right?
It's always after them.
Yeah, I mean, she within the framework of the play hit like Madonna level,
Right.
like
And you're like,
level,
I have all this money now.
Lady Gaga level, like that was like
Yeah.
back when I guess they were that big. But
Now, where was that? Was that in Los Angeles or
this was
that
in San Diego. So I was in San Diego for 3 months doing the play.
Oh, wow. You went down there just for that, or you
Yeah.
were living there?
No, I was down there just for that.
Oh, okay.
Doing plays is fun.
Yeah, it's great.
It's so much fun.
You've done plays?
I've done a play.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
I've never.
Because you get to work with buddies.
Okay.
You get to put on a thing and it's live. It's
Yeah,
fun.
it's fun. It's live. You know, you get the benefit of having a live audience.
Right.
And sometimes you're like, oh shit, I'm funny.
Yeah.
You know, like when you
Yeah.
say something and they're like laughing in your head. I mean, it's not my lines, obviously.
right. But you're like,
but it's my delivery. So I'm like,
That's all that matters. Yeah. That's insane. I've only been to like one or two, and I've just before you got in here,
He's
I was
obsessed with Hamilton.
I've just been like talking all about Hamilton.
Uh-huh.
you and Donald Trump.
Man, I have more of a positive love
Yeah.
for Hamilton.
So does
Yeah.
the rest of the world.
Yeah, but Donald Trump doesn't though. That's the catch.
Yeah.
But no, that's really cool. So how did your folks take it now? Now, like, where your family?
Now you're
where-
established.
Yeah. They see what you're doing. They see
Yeah.
you're making money and stable and like providing for yourself. Are they still like
You've met Zayn.
you've met
like,
Zayn?
they have
That's
no
all-
reason
I mean,
to
I can
complain.
retire now, right?
Yeah, like you can't top you can't top
Your
Zayn.
reel is just you talking to
Yeah.
Zayn
Yeah.
over and over and over again.
Which I would probably get hired if you were casting.
I'd be like, yeah,
For sure.
perfect.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
it. That's
yeah,
all we
yeah.
needed,
Yeah.
you know.
I think like having Middle Eastern parents, like they set the bar pretty high for you.
Yeah.
You know. So I moved out at 17. So I mean, I don't think I have like a very common like Middle Eastern
Yeah,
girl
yeah.
story. I
Damn,
was
you
very
moved out.
Oh yeah, I was
Wow.
out. Well, I was very
Left
rebellious.
home.
Unbelievable.
I was rebellious. I was like, I was doing things I shouldn't have been doing, and they weren't happy about it. And
What?
Yeah.
You were smoking hookah at 9 p.m. Not allowed.
I thought you were gonna say 9 years old.
Yeah.
I was like, yep.
Yeah.
Sneaking hookahfuls.
In between coloring.
So like
yeah.
as far as like taking care of myself, I've been doing that. I was like when I went to college, I was doing everything on my own.
Yeah.
And I think I did that to prove to them that like I
got it.
I got it. Yeah. Especially because again they knew that I wanted to be in the arts in some way, which isn't usually something that Middle Eastern parents are
They don't get
applaud.
it.
They don't get it.
Yeah.
They don't get it. And my parents are very very like.
Yeah, very
Like they're
traditional.
they're like math and like
Yeah,
law and like you should be a scientist.
I
whatever
feel
it is.
like every immigrant group that comes to America wants their kids to do
Yeah, they want-
doctor, engineer,
because it's safe.
because those three
Steady.
jobs
Yeah.
are make money everywhere in the world.
And everyone needs that. Like,
Yeah.
like, everyone needs a doctor.
Everyone
Like,
needs a
You
doctor.
won't be
Everyone
out
needs
of a job.
You
Right.
can go
Unless-
anywhere.
Right.
Unless you do like something that you're hit with a malpractice suit. But
Right.
besides that, like
True.
you can literally take that, anywhere. And it's just a very secure, because it's like, yo, we're here in this country. I want you to be, because they don't want us to struggle like they struggled when they got here, you
Exactly.
know?
Yeah.
But then I don't blame them, but at the same time, I would,
Like, let me live.
Yeah.
Just a bit like just.
Can I live?
Yeah. Luckily, my folks were like, okay, you
Yeah.
know, we'll let you do your thing.
Do you find that over time, it has grown as far as like Middle Eastern people doing what you do?
In the field, yeah, because I mean,
Have you seen that since you've?
Well, I mean, we were talking about this like vaguely earlier
Yeah.
about like how like when I grew up, there was no Middle Eastern woman for me to look up to.
Right.
Like I was telling him that the only person I looked up to was Princess Jasmine.
yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
I was like, that's my girl.
And she's a
like,
cartoon.
Yeah,
know.
and she's
Probably voiced by a dude. We don't know.
yeah. Well, we do know she's not, but
no, she's not. But most likely, I'm sure like a white woman or something. you
but
know?
regardless,
Yeah.
I mean, the idea that, I mean, this is probably not the direction we want to go, but the idea that like I'm a girl looking up to a Disney character whose
Right.
main thing is to get married is
Right.
like a weird thing to
Yeah,
look up
yeah,
to.
yeah.
But nonetheless, it was like a representation of a brown person
Mm-hmm.
in the media, which I didn't really have other than that.
Yeah.
Now,
Still a hot Halloween costume. Who would have thought
Yeah.
it's still?
Oh, didn't
It's
what's her name
still a
do
hot
it?
costume.
Kim Kardashian.
Count Kardashian did it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's still people.
times,
still
yeah.
Twice. Okay.
Back to back.
times,
Had to bring
yeah.
it back.
I know, but
Wow.
it's like, yeah, there's not that many. I mean, how do you feel about it now? Like in the space in entertainment, do you think there's enough representation, or like it's still not enough?
I mean, I don't even know like how to like set the barometer for what's enough representation.
Sure.
I do think that there's definitely way more brown people represented
There is, yeah.
in
Mhm.
television and film now.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's still times where, you know, what was it, when Jake Gyllenhaal was the Prince of Persia?
Oh God.
Like things like that, or like, and I know like
a
there's-
collective eye roll from
yeah.
millions of people.
Or like there's like a movie. I mean, this is like the Asian community was up in arms because Scarlett Johansson was cast as
Yeah.
a Japanese
Yeah.
a Japanese
Yeah,
character.
yeah.
So like, I think there's still a lot of room that we have to improve, but I definitely think that there's a lot more people, you know, for younger people to look up to now and see
Yeah.
like, oh, that person looks like me. Like I can do what they do.
God, when I heard about that Jake Gyllenhaal thing and the Scarlett Johansson thing, I was like, man, being white is so awesome. They can just wake up and
They
be
can be
like,
anybody.
They're like, I'm gonna be Japanese today,
Yeah.
and people will be like, yeah,
Yeah.
you can.
Yeah.
But then like when Hamilton comes around,
Right.
where it's a cast of like people of color
Like,
playing,
this is
Ethnic,
crazy.
yeah, playing
Yeah.
like white people,
Yeah.
they're like, oh, this isn't accurate. I'm like, bitch, there's a movie called Gods of Egypt where you have fucking Gerard Butler playing the god of Egypt. Like,
You
what?
know what
Yeah.
I was watching the other day, like randomly, because it was like randomly on, was Tropic Thunder.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I was like looking at it, and I was like, yo, this movie would not fly now.
No.
Because Robert Downey Jr. is playing a black actor, and he's in blackface.
Yeah.
Well, no, he's playing. Is he playing a white guy?
He's playing a
He's
white
playing
guy.
a white guy playing a black guy.
but he
like,
does it in blackface. Yeah.
But it's, you know, it's like, I feel like that wouldn't fly now.
wouldn't fly. Maybe I don't know.
I don't. It's
Funny
such
movie.
a. It's such a. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like he
Yeah.
was addressing it though.
I don't know. It's such a
Maybe.
tricky topic, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, we usually like dive into this, but actually, no. You know, we'll save that for later.
Okay.
Where we ask you for your credit card.
A social. We ask you for your favorite, your pet's name, your first pet's name,
Your mother's maiden name.
and your high school mascot.
What street you grew up on? Yeah.
So we bring this up with like a lot of our guests, just because like I feel like it's just relevant to a lot of people. You know, everyone has like these like internal struggles of like personal struggles of like spirituality and everything. Like what does that mean to you? Like what's like your spiritual process? I mean, like some people find healing going, you know, to like church or whatnot. You know, some people just find it not being like spiritually apathetic. Is that the term?
Yeah.
But like, how does it work for you?
I'm not religious by any stretch. I wasn't raised religious. I think spirituality for me is just like, I mean, I use music for that, I guess. That's how I unplug. That's how I release that. Like, you know, again, we'll bring it back to Kanye real quick.
Yeah.
But like, you know, Ultra Light Beam for me was like, like I had like a moment.
For sure.
Like when I first heard that song, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
is incredible. Like, you know, and I'm
Yeah.
not even just, you know, I know that's more so about Christianity,
Yeah.
but like for that, I didn't take that from it. I got my own personal, whatever I got from it.
Yeah.
I think spirituality is like different for everybody, you know, like I believe in God. Yeah, I do. Do I need to go to a certain place to practice that belief? I don't think so personally, but I respect and understand why some people do.
Okay. I don't think we answered this, but like, how do your folks, because we touched it, but how do you folks feel now of where you're at in your career? Are they a little bit more supportive now, or are they still like, we would still like you to do, you know, the sciences?
Because my parents still want me to take a turn. They're expecting.
And
they're
my
expecting-
family,
Really?
I'm on a TV show, and they're like, yeah, maybe he'll become an engineer. Maybe he'll just
Maybe you can play an engineer on the show.
Maybe.
I'm sure you've played one somewhere.
I've never played an engineer before. Isn't that crazy?
Poor typecasting.
I know, right?
I've said no to them.
Yeah. my folks till this day are like, you sure you don't want to come back to the East and like
they're basically being
something?
like, you sure you don't want to give up?
Yeah. So I mean, they still support. They're still like, hey, we're happy and proud of what you're doing. But
my theory is like, if they see that you can support yourself,
right,
they'll become.
So where do your folks fall in this?
My parents are very proud of me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I think for a long time, like we definitely like fought back and forth about like what they thought I should be doing versus what I was like, what I felt like I should be doing.
Right.
And I think they got to a point where they just kind of gave up because they realized like I wasn't budging.
Yeah.
And then now, of course, like they're happy because like their friends will send them like random like links
and
on
stuff?
Facebook or like YouTube or like screenshot and be like, "Is this your daughter?" And like now they're like, "This is my daughter." Whereas before they're like, "That's not my daughter." You know?
Oh man.
So it's kind of funny how that works, but they love me. They just want to see me do the best that I can do. So they're very proud.
So now, like with the year rounding out and all these albums are dropping, okay, I just want to bring up Kanye one more time because you talked about how you loved Ultralight Beam, but I was kind of let down by the entire album.
A lot of people were.
And then J. Cole, and then J. Cole comes out with False Prophets.
Right.
So how did you feel about
an incredible track?
How did you feel about same or whatever the album's name was?
The Life of Pablo.
The Life of Pablo.
I personally loved The Life of Pablo.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't, and I understand that they didn't. I loved it. I mean, I definitely think there are tracks on there that you skip. So if I was anywhere on Kanye's team, I would have told him to scale back the number of tracks that he had on there.
There were too many.
Yeah,
there was what, 18
definitely
or something?
really good parts in it.
Yeah, I would have taken it down to like 10 to 12 tracks.
Yeah,
and then it would
there's a lot
have
of
been
filler.
like exactly. There's a filler, which I'm not a big fan of. But that being said, there's some really strong tracks on there, like Fade. I effing love Fade.
That was a dope track.
Yeah. As far as J. Cole, like I don't necessarily think that he said anything that isn't true.
I feel like he spoke for how almost everyone feels,
right?
You know?
And he wasn't. I mean, very
was almost
blatantly in one
concerned,
verse
too.
That's the thing is
It
like
wasn't like I hate you. It was more like I'm worried about you.
Yeah, I think it's more of like when you idolize someone and then like you see your idol like crumbling before you. Like I don't think it was like him like firing shots at him like fuck you, come at me. Like I think it was him just being like hurt. Like
what happened to you, man?
Yeah. So there was a funny tweet that somebody said that they were like, LOL at J. Cole writing a version of Stan about Kanye West. I was like,
oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, I was like, I mean, kind of Stanish, but I get it. It's like we're all, it's like it sucks. Like watching, I'm a huge Kanye West fan.
Right.
Like, I love Kanye.
Me
like
too,
I've been a Kanye West fan from jump. So like for me, like I don't agree with a lot of things that he says and does, but like I was supporting him, and like now it kind of sucks to see someone that you look up to crumbling.
Yeah.
So as far as J. Cole, I love J. Cole, and I love that track, and I don't think there's anything that he said that wasn't true.
What are some albums and stuff? Because at the end of the year, they make these lists, and there's all of the people that make the list that are like people that we all know. Like Beyonce's going to make the list, and Kanye's going to make the list. But what are some people that you feel like got overlooked this year that made great stuff, or maybe were not as huge?
Right. I mean, I loved Kate Trinata's project.
I've never heard of that person.
You should look.
Or is that an
Kate
album?
Trinata.
No,
Kate Trinata?
Yeah, Kate Trinata. Yeah, he's a producer, musician, DJ, all-around artist.
We barely know who that guy is. Our fans have no idea. Yeah. So this is good.
Kate Trinata is incredible.
Okay.
Actually, funny enough, I discovered Kate Trinata 2 years ago at Coachella, which is the benefit of going to this place like Coachella. I was like walking the field and I heard this like incredible like beat coming out of one of the tents. Yeah. And I literally ran to the
coming
tent.
out the Chipotle tent, all the way tucked in a corner.
I wish there was a Chipotle tent. Although I don't know if I would eat that at Coachella, to be honest. So I just heard it, and I was being pulled in one direction. And I literally like let go of my friend's hand, and I was like, I'm going this way. And she was like, what are you doing? I was like, I have to go towards this music. Yeah. And so I went, and I danced so hard for 45 minutes straight, like danced my ass off. And I was like, who is this incredible person? And it was Kate Trinata. So since then, I've been like a hardcore fan.
Wow.
But he dropped 99% this year, which is a great album. I think it's something probably that would get overlooked because a lot of people don't know who he is, but he's incredibly talented.
Okay. Who else would make this list?
Who else? I think, I mean, I'm sure your fans know who Travis Scott is, but
Of course,
I was thinking a lot of the lists are not putting his his album on their list, and I thought it was incredible. Birds in the Trap Sing McKnight, I still bump it, and that was released months and months ago.
Yeah, I've been obsessed with
Hamilton mixtape. We get it. He will not let it. I'm just kidding.
that and Frank. I don't know how like
Blonde.
Blonde, I've loved it.
I love Blonde.
Oh man, like I couldn't stop playing that until I got into Hamilton.
Now
I can't listen to other genres of music right now.
The thing about this year is like almost every huge artist released a project of some sort. Like it was incredible.
Yeah.
Like, the first like 4 months of 2016,
And they were all pretty good too.
Oh, incredible!
Yeah.
Like I think Rihanna's probably gonna get overlooked just because she dropped her project so early.
Yeah.
So people forgot about it, but that was a great project.
For Lemonade dropped.
Yeah. That she got nominated for an Oscar, so I don't think they're gonna forget about that.
That's
one.
at the top of every list.
That got nominated for an
Adele
Oscar?
came out this year.
Really?
for
What
the film for the
like best short or something
it
or
was
like
Best variety something.
it was like something along the lines of like the actual film that came along with the Lemonade piece.
you mentioned how people send you either dick or intern questions in your DMs, but like a lot of people,
That's real extremes here.
Yeah.
very
wow.
yeah.
I live my life in the extremes.
Yeah.
But a lot of people do want to get into hosting, or like just being an anchor or being on camera. What should they expect, and what should they start working towards, and what should they start doing?
I think a lot of people think that you just gotta stand up and like just say words on a prompter and that people like feed you everything, and we don't. Like we write all of our own scripts.
Right.
We do all of our own research for our interviews. Like it's all, there's a lot of work to be done behind what people just see of the finished product. In terms of like how people can break in, I would say definitely interning is a great place to start. One of my co-anchors based in New York started off as an intern.
Wow.
And then became now is like one of the more popular anchors that we have. So it's like, interning, I think sometimes you have to kind of take the hit and just like not get paid for a while.
Right.
And just put in your hours. And like mostly that's just kind of getting your face in front of the right people. So, I mean, I've worked all through college. Like I was always hustling. So even when I wasn't making money doing it, what I wanted to be doing,
Right.
I would take a hit somewhere and like get paid less just so that I could
Get
be
in front of the right-
people or whatever it is. Also, like I said before, like just get your materials together. If you want to be a host and you were like, oh, like how do I do this? Like start hosting, take classes, start studying people that you think do a really good job and try and like figure out like how they got to where they got, and put yourself on tape.
Yeah, it seems like the recurring theme with any sort of thing in entertainment or the arts is like, don't wait for someone else to just start doing it yourself.
Yeah.
That way you have something to show and you have the skill set and the experience.
Yeah, I mean, you can literally like, you can like fake a reel, It's like, just go outside with a camera and a freaking microphone and like, say whatever it is, like,
And people be like,
interview random people on the street,
Yeah.
and just have like a really cool, as I think, especially for hosts specifically, like a lot of times you get hired off your personality because they, like you are essentially an on-air personality.
Yeah.
So if you have like, if you're really funny or if you really love Adele or whatever it is,
right.
like
or
These
you
are
don't,
both
or you
accurate
don't, like-
descriptions
or
of
you
both
just-
of us. Yeah.
if you really love Hamilton, like go out there and like be like, I'm gonna go on the street and like have
talk to people about Hamilton,
or
yeah.
have random people rap things from Hamilton and like splice it all together and then make a video, and it could be funny and throw it online. Like who knows, like it could go viral.
Right.
And then you have a viral video to be like, yo, what's up, Complex? Like I had this video go viral. Like
And
what's
I
good
didn't
with the
need
job?
your help.
Yeah. I had a viral video before I came to Complex.
Oh, really? What was your viral video?
Should Arab girls say?
Yeah. Should
we
white
did-
girls say to Arab girls?
Oh yeah. That's we did our
There you
homework
go.
here. We did our homework.
I like
yeah.
it.
Nice.
Little journalist over here.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
So how that turn out? Like, I mean, like the progression of like, because I was like, 1 million views like 4 or 5 years ago is like,
It's like 50 million now.
yeah, basically, because now like everyone's just like popping out millions, but
Yeah.
like,
Right, yeah. Million is kind of par for the course, I guess.
yeah, but like at that time, that was like, really hard to hit,
Yeah. I mean, again, it was like one of those ideas of like, there was shit white girls say to black girls was like, started it off.
Yeah.
And I saw it and like, I was just like, oh, I should do a shit white girls say to Arab girls. And I was like, why not? And so I grabbed, my friend and I was like, hey, can you shoot me do this? And I like basically, and everything in that was true, by the way.
Yeah.
I know people were like, I had a lot of people come at me like out the side of their neck, like, oh my God, this is reverse racism, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like,
oh, if only they knew.
That was a tough video series for white people.
White people took the L. Yeah.
It was hard to swallow.
They're like, every ethnicity is doing one of these? God damn.
And then it did, it spiraled. Like a lot of different ethnicities started doing it.
Shit, white people say to Micronesian people, and they're like, how far down the list are we going here?
I love it. I love it, man.
But yeah, it was like one of those, I was like, all right, you know what, I'm just going to do this. Like,
Yeah.
and it wasn't like, at this point, there still wasn't the idea of like, oh, I saw this happen, so I'm going to do it.
Right.
I just genuinely was inspired by this girl's video, and I was like, I'm just going to do it. And I threw it up on YouTube. And then within the first day, it got like 100,000 views in like 24 hours. And I was like, I like woke up and it was like almost like Christmas. I was like, oh my God.
Like, I'm famous.
It wasn't even famous. It was just like, oh,
This is amazing.
I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like I kind of like can see how the viral machine works.
Yeah.
So for me, it was like a learning experience.
Yeah,
sure.
about like how it goes, how people start sharing stuff, what things people get attracted to. And all
Right.
that
Yeah.
kind
It
of
was
stuff.
just like a, you know, coming from like the producer side, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, like, you know, this is how the digital space works. Like this is how you can try and essentially attempt to get a viral video.
Yeah.
And then it was also my first introduction to online hate. So there was that.
Ooh, that's something spicy when it first happens, right?
Spicy. Yeah.
Well, it's like, I mean, I'm like, I was like, I'm a nice girl. Like, you know, I'm like, I'm not racist. Like, this
What
is
was
literally things that people
a
said to
comment
me.
that stuck out to you?
Well, a lot of it was physical. Like people would be like, you know,
That's not great.
Oh,
I
I'm
don't
punch
like
you in
that.
the face.
no, like attacking me physically.
Oh my God.
So they'd be
come
like,
on.
they'd be like,
like
It
the
wasn't even like
appearances.
it wasn't
like
even
her,
race stuff.
like her, no, her, like this chick with her Arab nose, like blah blah blah, and I'm like, I mean, I am Arab, so I do have an Arab nose.
Oh my God.
But like, you know,
And
it's
they're like, but we're trying to make you feel bad about it.
yeah,
You
so
don't
they-
fit into the
yeah.
Western standards of beauty.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
know.
So I was like, well, I was just like, and I was like, should I get a nose shot? And I was like, fuck you, I like my Arab nose, bitch. I was
Yeah.
like, smell more than you can.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
I smell all of the roses, you son of a bitch.
but no, it was like, you know, and then obviously people coming at me because being Arab and Middle Eastern and Iraqi and from Baghdad, no less. So, you know, a lot of the ignorant people would come out and be like, this bitch is probably with ISIS or whatever.
Right,
Oh,
but I feel like
God.
that's part of like the hazing of the internet. It's shitty, but
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you're just like, oh, okay.
It's so
None
weird
of
that
this
you
bothers
get
me.
used to it.
Yeah,
It's,
you're
it's
like,
like the strangest thing.
we're
And then
s-
coming to Complex, like it was like a whole other subsect of our comment section is especially savage.
oh really?
I feel like
Oh,
you guys have
yeah.
a very strong male audience.
We do.
No.
And I'm sure
Dudes
like
are the worst.
misogyny runs deep in there.
Misogyny runs very deep. Yes.
Okay. Well, we're not trying to take any shots at the Complex audience because you still need a job.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a question now. So you've been working at Complex now for over a year. What is the strategy? So you're gonna continue working hopefully for a couple years and then move from there, or like what's a bigger goal for you?
I mean, I love Complex.
Yeah.
They've been wonderful to me. Like, I'm very happy to be part of this community. I'm also happy to be like a woman's voice in the community.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is very important to me.
Yeah, the Complex is fairly diverse. You
Yeah.
know, with
Oh,
their,
yeah.
You guys
with
are
their
very
hosts
diverse.
and-
Oh yeah, no, it's been awesome. Like I feel like we're like the United Colors of Benetton
Yeah,
as far as
yeah.
our hosts.
Yeah.
And just to kind of like touch really quickly on our audience base that you were saying, it's like mostly male. Like it's a lot more females now. And being at Complex
That's
Con,
awesome.
like and actually getting to interact with the fans of
Yeah.
the platform was so dope because there's so many girls there.
Wow.
And like you'd be surprised. Like I think like maybe they're a little scared to jump in the comment section.
That's the thing. I think that's what it is. A lot of times when you put something up or whatever and you just look at the comments, you always think that like, man, is it just like racist dudes and like misogynist dudes running the internet? And you're like, no, a lot of people watch shit. Like I watch shit all the time. I don't go, all right, I like this. Now I'm going to go in there and tell this person how much I enjoyed their
Yeah.
content.
I
You
don't
just
think I've
watch it and
ever-
move on.
Yeah, like a lot. I don't think it's probably like what 5% of the
Yeah.
population actually like drops a comment,
Right.
Which is dope. I love those. I mean, look,
Of course, it's great to get comments. Of course.
Engagement is
Very
wonderful,
important,
and,
yeah.
and it keeps your product, at the top of the
and relevant
pile.
and yeah.
So, shout out to everyone that comments, whether it's good, bad, ugly,
Right.
whatever it is.
It all counts. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. It all counts. What was the question? Sorry,
I don't know.
Went off on a tangent. I'm like,
Do you see yourself staying and growing with Complex as, and like, do you see it growing into like a bigger thing that you just stay and like, this is like a big career move for you, or do you see yourself working here for a while and then possibly moving on to another
Complex
thing?
is growing so quickly.
That's the thing, yeah.
So it's really incredible to kind of like be on the up and up with it.
Yeah.
And obviously like now, like a lot of my best, the people that I work with have become some of my best friends.
Yeah.
But I think, with any career, like there's always like higher goals,
Of course.
So if I was to say that I want to be a complex for the rest of my life, I think that would be not fair to them or me.
Yeah.
Because I have definitely like loftier goals. But for the time being, like this has been super rad and like a great experience. And I'm happy to kind of be one of the voices of this culture.
Where do you kind of see like broadcast journalism going? Because a lot of like mainstream news is kind of becoming
internet.
It's that, and they're like reporting on stuff Complex would report,
Yeah, which is so fascinating.
Yeah.
Like I think like for a while, like we were
biting your style.
I know. Well,
and I see like
that's what happens when you're doing good things. Like people want to get a piece of it.
And sometimes I see Complex dropping some political content here and there.
We cover politics.
Yeah,
for sure.
so I was always under the impression it was just kind of like pop culture and like hip hop.
Yeah,
but
it started off like that.
Yeah.
But, like we're growing with the times as well, and I think especially now, like it's been such an important year for millennials to have a voice with the political climate that we're in. So I think it was important for all of us to help facilitate that and try to create a platform where it was an okay space that you can say things, whether you're pro or anti or whatever it is. Like it's all about dialogue.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure, man. For sure. All right. I really appreciate you coming out all the way from West Hollywood to Korea. To K-Town. Thank you for hanging out with us.
Where do we find
having
you?
me.
We find you on Complex, of course.
Yeah, you can find me on Complex at Tamara Dhia across all of my social media.
All social media.
All social media.
All of it.
Okay.
Keep it simple. Maybe not in the DMs, but
Oh God.
Yeah,
Okay.
Jesus, guys,
Take
come on.
it easy.
Yeah.
Just
Take it easy.
just send your resumes. That's all you gotta do.
Just
no, not even that, because I can't do anything with your resumes,
Oh damn.
and not your SoundCloud links, because I can't do anything with that either.
I'm sure.
No, that's all we were gonna do.
we were gonna send our mixtape. We're like
Although I'm very, very proud of all these people that are trying to get their hustle on. I think there's no shame in anyone's hustle, but
course.
I think it's a matter of knowing who you are trying to, like, for instance, if you're trying to get, your stuff put on Complex, like I work specifically with news.
Yeah.
I literally have nothing
So
to
you're
do with like
music.
with like who's put on the music channel. So in that regard, it's like know who you're aiming at. So don't waste your time coming to me with your SoundCloud link, because I'll listen to it and be like, oh yeah, like you're great or whatever it is, but I can't get you on Complex. Like I work with news.
True.
Unless you're Kanye.
Yeah, I know. We've had people like hit us up like on like I just get my Twitter blown up like, yo, I want to be on Ridiculousness, and then they try to get like a petition of like their
They're like,
people.
dude, I fall off of tables too. Get me on Ridiculous.
I'm like, they're like, I want to be a guest, and I'm like, I can't. I have no say in who's the guest and whatnot. And I was like, first of all, I was like, you're not even relevant.
But it's kind of like a compliment, because like they think you own the company.
Yeah.
True.
That's another thing is like when they're like, oh, like I want to be a host, here's my resume. And I'm like, I have nothing, I have no say whatsoever on like who gets hired to be a host. Like just, I think, we're talking about hustling and like how to get your job. I think it's very important to know like who you're giving your energy to. So instead of like trying to come to me who has no power in that regard, like try and figure out who did the hiring. So LinkedIn is a great platform for that. Like figure out who's on LinkedIn. Also, Twitter is a great platform as well. Everyone's on Twitter. So
I know people who've gotten writing jobs
No way.
off of having really funny.
I know a girl
Twitter.
who got an audition. She didn't end up getting hired, but she did get an audition to be a host on Complex through Twitter.
That's incredible.
I mean, it's direct, and I feel like if you're an employer, instead of sifting through papers and stuff, if you can go online and feel like you discovered someone, you have more of an incentive to bringing them in.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I saw this person, I saw them in their own element, so it wasn't like them lying to me in an interview.
Right.
I got to see them doing what they do, so I'll bring them in.
Also, you get I think a better gauge of someone's personality.
Right.
More so through a resume.
Yeah. You get to see their tweets.
Yeah,
And what their meme selection.
Yeah.
You gotta have a good meme selection.
I will judge you based on your meme selection.
That's all that
I'm very
matters.
much into memes and GIFs and such.
Yeah.
Or GIFs, however you say it.
I say just. I don't know. But all right. Thank you so much.
Yes,
guys.
thank you for this.
Yeah,
This is
thanks
great.
for having
Appreciate
me.
it. Thank you.
Yeah, deuces.
All right.
Okay.
Whew. That was good.
That was good.
That was a cool episode.
We got
Great
into a
comeback.
lot of. We've
lot of
never had a
things.
guest like her before.
We haven't, and it's great that we're getting more women to come by.
Yes.
Well, by the way, this month we are packed with incredible creators that are coming on.
Yes.
So in the pipeline, we have Sumair Khan, the boxer,
The boxer.
I just got off with an email with Wong Fu Productions. They're coming by.
Yes.
We have Yara Shahidi from ABC's
man.
Blackish coming in this month.
At network TV stars?
Yeah.
We got it all? Digital, network television stars, musicians, journalists? I mean, what more do you want? Athletes? We got it.
Yeah, we got that.
We got other people coming. So we got the whole spectrum.
Yeah.
So if whatever you're into, we have a guest.
Yep.
And if you're not into the particular thing that this guest does, you're going to love the interview, though, because we get into it.
So that's one thing. A lot of people are like, oh, I don't know of this person.
But
I'm
they
not
learn
gonna listen.
about them, and they're like, this is cool.
Our best conversations have been with like the people who don't have that strong of a social media following. Like that's our like favorite conversations.
Or
that we
people
have.
that, most people may not necessarily know about. Like if it's not someone that does YouTube stuff and does something else, people are like, I don't know if I'll be into this. And those are some of our most interesting conversations.
Yeah. Anyway, it was really great seeing both of you guys. It was great to be in front of the podcast.
It's good to be home again, baby.
Yeah, it's good to like hop on the apartment. I've been out of my apartment for like weeks, man, and just to come back and get back right into
nice
the
and
podcast.
the warm embrace of Zayn.
Yeah, man.
So once again, thank you guys so much. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel because we are the #1 most popular video podcast online
on YouTube. Yeah,
and the only way that is a lie is if you don't subscribe. So don't make us look like liars.
Subscribe.
We have iTunes,
SoundCloud, Google Play, Stitcher. We're everywhere.
We're on every platform. You have no excuse to not be listening or watching the Apartment Podcast.
Exactly.
So thank you guys so much. Oh, hit up our Patreon.
Oh, the Patreon.
Yes.
Our deleted scenes. So in this episode, we talk trash about Adele. That is in the damn Patreon.
Yes.
Yeah, that's one of our deleted scenes.
And some other and some other goodies. So pop up on there.
I'm gonna throw in the previous weeks with Niles Retrospectro and You Funny Beef. A lot of deleted scenes from there that you're out of town, but those are going to be uploaded to the Patreon as well. So check out the Patreon, subscribe, check out last week's video and the week before that. Yeah, we had 2 great guests, and be ready for next week. We got a dancer, an actress.
I'm going to be just body rolling the entire
I'm not going to
episode.
say who it is, but
you're going to love it.
But you're going to love it.
You're going to love it.
So
once again, shout out to our sponsor.
Shout out to our sponsors, Adidas.
Adidas. All day I dream about sleep.
I do.
Adidas. And also, shouts out to our producer.
Shout out to our producer, Sumair Khan.
Sumair Khan.
I was about to say Sumair Jake.
Don't put a J in it. So shout out to our producer, Sumair Khan. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. We'll be here next week.